Introducing Sam and Dean, famous TikTok stars that have managed to amass a growing following of 30 million fans. Today, they're going to be joining us and telling us how they're able to climb the TikTok ladder of success. A round of applause, please, as they climb up to the stage.
The loud MC stood up and started clapping. The whole crowd did the same as the arrogant twins bounced onto the stage, refusing to shake raving fans like they were above them and walking to the stage majestically like the whole world was their oyster. I rolled my eyes, irritated.
Change that channel immediately,
My mom commanded. Mom, I'm watching it. Dad came to her rescue.
Didn't you hear your mom? Switch out the television. I can't believe you're watching an interview about boys who got famous through devilish means. Change it to a Christian channel and watch something uplifting.
I reluctantly changed the channel.
You know what? You've had enough screen time for the day. Go to your room and study or pray.
Dad, I've watched TV for less than 10 minutes. He gave me a warning look. Mom. I looked to my mom for help, but she quickly turned away, pretending to be clueless. I retreated to my room, defeated. My parents believed social media was of the devil, so I was only allowed to use a phone that could make and receive calls, text messages, and emails. I was allowed to watch TV once in a blue moon, and even then, my parents always found a way to ruin it. They believed in being the perfect family, and they were sure that exposing me to the outside world would ruin my perfection. And boy, was I perfect. I was the most popular, handsome, and smartest guy in school. But funny enough, I wasn't allowed to date. My parents always made sure that my teeth were sparkling, my clothes and hair were in order, and I was smelling glorious before I was ever allowed to step out of the house. I exercised frequently and was one of the leaders in my football club. I ate healthily, studied, made good grades, and was also active in church. I was perfect. At least that's what everyone said. I obeyed all my parents' instructions to the T, but that was never enough for them. They kept coming up with new ones. What my parents didn't know, though, was that I had a huge secret. A secret that almost everyone in the city knew. I had been keeping it for months, and I planned to keep it till I left their house and gained my freedom. Like and subscribe to find out my secret. I tried to study, but I wasn't in the mood, so I wasn't understanding anything. I closed my textbook. I left my room and peeked around the house. Seeing that my parents had successfully gone to bed, I retreated to my secret hideout. It's my room, duh, what were you thinking? I locked my door, wore my special Mr. Anonymous outfit, switched off the lights, walked into my closet, brought out my secret iPhone, which I had gotten for myself by saving up my monthly allowance and getting paid to do people's homework, set up my tripod and ring light, opened the TikTok app, and clicked the record button. It was a Monday and the beginning of a new week. I smiled and walked gracefully through the school hallway, nodding my head as everyone admired my beautiful face and body like they usually did. I was in high spirits, not because of the constant admiration by my schoolmates, but because of my secret TikTok account that had just hit the 50 million follower mark, higher than the arrogant twins that had been interviewed yesterday. Of course, I had to stay anonymous because of my parents, so this stopped me from accepting interviews from journalists. Nobody could know who I was. As I searched for the books I needed for the day in my locker, I heard everyone oohing, eyeing, and screaming. The only person that ever made the crowd go this wild was me, and I'd passed the hallway already. I was really curious, but decided not to turn. Turning would only make whoever it was feel like I was also admiring them. As I pretended to seriously look for something in my locker, I felt the presence of two guys behind me. I'd never been bullied in my life, and I was always ready to assert my dominance, so I turned around swiftly, ready to beat the sense out of whoever was trying to bully me. To my surprise and horror, it was Sam and Dean, the famous TikTok twins that were on the interview last night. They looked stunning, especially Dean. I had to pretend that I didn't know them. They looked pompous enough already.
Good day, Keen,
Sam said in an alpha voice, trying to intimidate me. He looked at me with a knowing look, expecting me to fall over and start screaming, "Oh my God, it's Sam and Dean!" with my hand on my head and my eyes rolled upwards. I didn't give him the pleasure. "And who might you be?" I asked. I could literally see Sam's smile turn upside down, and Dean started laughing.
I'm Dean, and he's Sam. We're new students, and we're in your... You don't know who we are?
Sam butted in.
That's disappointing. Do you live under a rock? Ignore my brother. We're in your class. We'd like you to hang out with us during lunch and tell us a bit about the school. We could also become friends. You seem like the coolest person available.
Yeah, I'll pass. I picked up my books and walked off. Dean smiled at me, but Sam shot me a murderous look as I walked away. During lunch, I was eating and talking with my friends when Sam and Dean arrived. They told my friends to scoot over so they could sit close to me. My friends happily shifted, honored that the famous twins were sitting close to them. I was so annoyed. I picked up my food tray and left for another table, but the twins followed me there, followed by my friends. God, why won't these people give up? Can I know why you guys are stalking me? Sam shot me an evil look while munching on his bread angrily.
We're having a party at our place tonight. A lot of famous Hollywood celebrities will be there, and we want you to come.
I cleared my tray of food and replied, I don't go to parties. Then I went back to class. It took a few days for Sam to give up, but Dean didn't. He kept following me everywhere until I gave up and started paying attention to him. Once I gave myself a chance to get to know Dean, I realized that although he was really proud, he was also kind, funny, and interesting. He wasn't actually the evil TikTok star that I made him out to be. I was simply unconsciously jealous of him and his brother because our fans always compared our TikTok accounts, wondering who was better than the other. They ignored the fact that I had almost double the size of followers they had and compared me to such riffraffs. I felt they were riffraffs because all they did was follow trends, play pranks on their family members, and show off their handsome faces, while I talked about important pressing world issues like BLM, global warming, climate change, politics, and LGBTQ. Things that my parents never let me talk or have an opinion about since it was none of our business. Somehow, Dean and I became friends. Do you want to come over for dinner? I asked Dean on the phone one day.
Absolutely. Do you think your parents will be okay with that?
I don't know, I'll ask them. I walked to my parents' room after ending the call. Mom, Dad, Dean is coming over tonight. I expected them to object since they object to everything. This was why I made it a statement and not a question. But I was surprised when my mom replied,
Of course, we'd love to spend some time with Dean. We wanted to tell you to invite him over for dinner, but I'm glad you beat us to it.
Huh? How do you know about him?
We know everything about you, my boy. The only reason we've let you hang out with Dean in school this long is because he's also an intelligent kid. Now, go get ready and wear a cool outfit. We have to make a good first impression.
I rolled my eyes as I walked away. Stalkers. When Dean came, my parents didn't allow him to sit down before they started bothering him with questions about everything.
How'd you meet Keen?
How did you guys become friends?
Who are your parents?
What's your highest grade?
What's your lowest grade?
What do you think about the most recent election?
Mom, Dad, can we start eating now? My parents said the prayers, but didn't stop asking Dean questions, even while he was eating. Dean answered everything perfectly well.
Well, we don't like the fact that you're involved in this devilish social media, but almost all kids are nowadays. So we'd let you keep hanging out with our boy as long as you promise not to influence him badly.
Dean smiled.
I promise, ma'am.
Dean and I became best friends. We were inseparable. A day didn't pass without Dean coming to my house, me going to his house, or us talking on the phone. I didn't have a great relationship with his brother Sam, but we tolerated each other. No matter how close I and Dean got though, I never let it slip that I was Mr. Anonymous on TikTok. It was my best kept secret. One day there was a BLM protest on the street and it was being shown on live TV. I shared my displeasure concerning the whole situation and my parents shocked me.
We're not black and we can never be black or have black children. We're also all straight in this family, so we need to all mind our own business.
Exactly.
What? How can you guys say that? I stormed into my room, but my parents followed me.
Young man, did you just walk out on us? What is this new behavior?
It seems like that Dean boy is influencing you badly. I want you to end your friendship with him immediately.
I rolled in my bed and shed tears, but I immediately sent a text message telling Dean that we couldn't be friends anymore, subsequently blocking him. Dean tried to get an explanation in school, but I avoided him and became cold towards him again. He eventually gave up and left me alone. One evening, I heard Sam and Dean fighting outside our house when we were about to have dinner. Before I could do anything, my parents invited them in and asked them to join us for dinner. Alarmed, I ran downstairs and got to the dining section, only to see Sam giving me a menacing smile and Dean looking sad, apologetic, and full of shame. I turned to my parents, and to my horror, they were watching my TikTok videos. I could feel the earth shake below my feet.
Sit down, Keen.
My mom told me. I found a seat and joined them at the table.
Is this true? Are you this Mr. Anonymous on TikTok?
I could feel pee dropping on my pants. Yes, I stammered. My parents burst into tears and hugged each other.
Social media isn't that bad after all.
Just by watching a handful of your videos, we have a different view of the world and people in it already. We're proud of you, my boy. We're glad that you've made something good out of this devilish place.
My parents pulled me in for a hug. Disappointed with this result, Sam stormed off.
Let's have dinner,
my dad said as he started praying. I'm not hungry. I ran to my room and Dean chased after me, but I was able to bang the door in his face and lock it before he could run in too.
Ow! You broke my nose, Keen!
Serves you right.
It's bleeding!
Then you need to go to the hospital.
You're really not going to help me?
I rolled my eyes. Fine. I opened the door and Dean immediately sprung in, colliding with me and landing right on top of me. I tried to free myself, but he overpowered me. I looked at his nose and it was perfectly fine. Get off me, you're a liar and backstabber.
Chill, dude, I can explain.
Seeing that his hold on me was too tight, I gave up. Fine, explain. Dean explained that he was watching a Mr. Anonymous TikTok when he recognized both my closet and my watch. He exclaimed out of shock, and unfortunately his brother, Sam, came into his room at that exact moment. Once Sam realized the truth, he ran with Dean's phone to my house, but Dean tried to stop him, and that was why they were fighting outside my house.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I've missed you.
I've missed you too. It's fine, I forgive you. Dean brought his face close to mine and kissed me. I realized how much I'd missed him, and I returned his kiss. Unknown to us, my door was still wide open, and my parents were standing right outside. My mom screamed,
Pack your things immediately and leave my house. You are no longer my son.
Tired of pretending to be someone I wasn't, I packed my things and moved into Dean's house where his parents happily accepted me. I got to know Sam better, and he wasn't even as evil as I imagined, just a jealous maniac. Sam, Dean, and I recorded a few TikToks together and posted on our separate accounts. The videos went viral and gave us more followers. It took a month, but my parents finally came back begging and asking for forgiveness. I forgave them and moved back home. 1 month later, I set up my iPhone, tripod, and ring light in my parents' study. Dean and my parents gathered around. I clicked the record button and we all put a smile on our faces. Hello everyone, I said for the first time without my Mr. Anonymous mask. I am Mr. Anonymous. My name is Keen. This is Dean, my boyfriend, and these are my parents. My parents finally accepted me for who I was, and my life took a turn for the better. Have you ever experienced something like this? Share it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and watch another video on our channel.